Alrighty, so today I'll just be talking about some of the resources I use to conduct research during medical school, and this will become handy when you're in your research year. So here I have pulled up Google Scholar. It's the main research search engine I use, and I'll show you kind of a couple of reasons why that is. So I'm just going to expand this real quick, and first, before even searching for anything, I'm going to go into the settings and then go to library links. Okay, now here's where you're going to put the library that your school is associated with or your institution. So I can search for Harvard, for example, and it will come up. But you see here, I already have my associated library linked up, and I'll show you where that kind of comes in handy. So I'm just going to cancel this. And then you can proceed to search. So I already have an example search up here, and I pulled out a couple of articles. So why I really like Google Scholar is that you have a lot of neat features. You have here, you can search for related articles. Let me just go back. You can also search by the other articles that were cited by that article. And then I really like this feature, the quotation. If you click on the quotation marks, you can pull up citations for this particular article. And you can just copy paste and literally put it into like a Word document. So yeah, you could be writing up a brief summary of something your attending wanted, blah, 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 and then also like right underneath it, cite immediately, really quickly. So that comes in handy for that. So just put that over there. And then what's neat also about this is that there is a Google Scholar Chrome add-on here, toolbar add-on. And that is super helpful for this reason. So I have one of these articles. Let's pick this one. So you can click that button and it'll pull up this article, and then you can quickly cite it while you're in the article. Like let's say you didn't use Google Scholar and you just found it through regular Google or some other research engine. It can pull this up on pretty much any website, and you can cite that. Okay, now this is where the library links come in handy. So let's say you come across an article that is restricted or you have to purchase it. Okay, so just click your Google Scholar button, and depending on what library you have, something else should pop up on the bottom. This is full text finder. But yeah, so then it'll pop up this other page where you can actually get links to the article through your library. And that'll just take some time to load. But then it'll give you access to the full article, which you can download and do whatever you need to with that. There's also links to Iliad. I know a lot of different colleges have this kind of system, and you can request this article if for some reason you can't find an electronic version of the article. Alright, so that's it for Google Scholar. And so the other resource that I find really helpful is Zotero, which is a article citation manager, kind of like EndNote, but this one is free, and it has a Google Chrome toolbar add-on, which I can show you is this button right next to my Google Scholar. Now this one, it looks differently depending on what you're looking at. Like if I change here, it looks like something different. And it also changes to this when it's a PDF. Yeah, so it'll look different. Sometimes it's a Z, but it is a very useful button. So let's say, example, I have this page open and I want to cite it. So that I just click this button, and you have to have Zotero as an application open before you do this. You click on it, and it's going to save to your Zotero. Here I had a collection called Pediatric MS, and it'll save. I think you can add tags. Yeah, you can add tags here if you wanted to. I've done that for some. So this one is, I'm going to say MRI because it looks like it's talking about imaging. And I'm just going to add that there. and then go to my Zotero, see if it transferred over, and it did. Look, it's already highlighted. I think it's saved. Oh, it saved my tag, so it's this blue tag that I wrote. Looks like it imported its own tags, which is fine. So it's all in there, which is great. So, and this Zotero will also can be used in Word too, and will update all your stuff in Word. I think I'll do another video about how I use that in Word. It's great for that purposes. So everything's all in one. You can actually pull up the PDFs too here if you want to look at it. But there you go. And the other useful feature of this, you can add some notes here. I have this notes section open for, there's certain articles in here that were particularly important for my thesis, so I have notes for them there. And you can kind of see which ones are in there. So that's really nice about Zotero. You can also have separate collections for different stuff you're working on. And then on the bottom here, you can search by tags, like we did that MRI tag. See it? And then we can pull up articles that have MRI tags on them. Okay, so the other neat thing it can do is also work with PDFs too. Like you could click this button and it will also save just fine as a PDF. It's like 50-50 on if that works as a PDF. Sometimes it'll just take a snapshot depending on what exactly is the web browser and all that stuff. Let's say someone sent me that article. Okay, let's see if we can add it. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my downloads and then let's see if this will work. So let's go to just the regular. Did you guys see that? Like it dragged it and dropped it in there and it immediately changed the file name that it was. It was like some weird brain sci a string of numbers, and it changed it to a file that has the author name and the year and also the title, and neatly organized it. So that was pretty neat that it could do that. And I think there's other ways too. If you didn't do it that way, you can also select, if you just had the PDF in here and it didn't automatically do that, you can right click and go to rename file from parent metadata, and that will do that same thing where it'll update the file with the author name and the year. Alright, so that's it for a review of the two big resources that I use to do research.